Welcome back to Ready Steady Play. We're here today, I'm here today with Ben from Star Trek.
Hello.
The Romulans. Michael Smith.
Hello.
The killer robot from Adrenaline.
Don't mind.
And the winner of Isle of Skye.
Which no one watched.
I finished it.
Matthew, my most dedicated viewer, and also my, I'm trying to think of a good joke about Blood Bowl.
I don't know. I basically almost killed your team, but then slipped over in the blood and you scored from the touchdown from it.
Hashtag, knocked them out, didn't kill a single one. I only knocked one down.
No, you
I
killed
him.
You killed
one.
one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He got out 7 guys, couldn't kill one. Did gouge out one of Michael's eyes though.
Yeah.
Just saying. Michael, don't.
Well, I only need one.
Damn it! No, you're supposed to be mad at him. So we've managed to get our hands on a game here. Actually, it's Matthew's. He's been unboxing it on his channel. What's the name of your channel?
Light of Hand.
Light of Hand. So go check out Matthew unboxing stuff. Also playing video games and playing through Shadows of Brimstone.
Yes.
That's cool.
I've also done. I don't know how many unboxings of different games. I also have some computer game stuff as well. I've done a little bit of Darkest Dungeon, and I've started doing a bit more on Super Dungeon Tactics,
which is like Super Dungeon Explorer video game edition.
Difference in rules, but yeah, similar.
So when it's a funny story. When I first met Matthew, I was like, "Hey, do you want me to come on your channel and do Shadows of Brimstone with you?" And he was like, "No."
I never actually did that. What happened was this gentleman sat in a pub.
Take the head.
It's like, I'm good.
That's not because what it is on my channel, I actually have to do everything very late at night, and hopefully a puppy is not also active.
Yeah, if you like puppies, this is board games and puppies. This is a channel for you.
Anyway.
So we're playing Matthew's game here, which is The Others 7 Sins. So this is a game from Cool Mini or Not. There was a Kickstarter. That's gone. I think you can buy it now.
Yeah.
The expansions come out next month or this month.
So the game's already at retail, but I don't know. I haven't seen it around. It's kind of funny because it's from designer Eric Lang, who's kind of like sort of board game Jesus at the moment. And gonna do a disclaimer now because I've just made a religious joke, and this game is actually.
I've stopped myself from saying something. So
I apologize to anyone that I might have offended there. Actually, we're very irreverent here, and we might say some things that are maybe a little insensitive from time to time, but we are just sort of having a laugh and trying to be funny. And I apologize if sometimes we miss the mark and maybe hit too far on the other side of the line. But this game here is actually also it's a game about the sort of last remnants of humanity fighting against demons that are trying to destroy the world in an apocalypse scenario. And it's set in the future, and there's all kind of cool sort of technological gadgets, but ultimately it's about these sort of horrors spilling out of hell and killing people. And if that theme offends you, or if you find that upsetting, maybe this is not the playthrough for you to watch on the channel. And I do apologize for that, but we're, we play whatever we can get our hands on. There's there's plenty of I don't really know what else to say. There's plenty of other stuff on the channel. Please go check that out. That'd be awesome. And maybe just sit this one out if that's upsetting for you, and I'm really sorry. But it's a really cool theme, and we really like the designer. I'm sorry. And so with that disclaimer put out there now, this is a game about demons, and they're coming to take over the world. There's one city left on Earth. It's Cornwall.
Haven is the city.
Well, it's called Haven, but it says in the rules it's in the south of England, so it's Cornwall or Portsmouth, the south coast.
I think it actually does say
Portsmouth is not in Cornwall.
It says the south. Does it say Cornwall?
I swear it says Cornwall. Or
Does
Devon,
it?
somewhere around
I just remember reading the south coast of England.
I could be wrong. I apologise if I am.
So we were cracking up. That's because that's pretty funny to us. I was half wondering if they meant London, and then they just didn't realize it's not really south coast. It's south. It's near the coast. London would be like the city, right? Like, it's a medieval city. It kind of has walls. Not really, but it used to. But you could still sort of kind of. It's got a river. Well, that's like defensive, right?
Like all good cities.
But all I'm saying is, anyway, the point is, Haven is being overrun by demons, and what you do is you sort of pick a story, you pick a bunch of demons. These guys are going. I'm going to be the demons. It's a one versus many game, so I'm going to be playing against these guys for this one. We all drew straws because none of us wanted to be the evil person, and I got the short straw, so that's me now. I'm evil.
It's also good that he did, because he's the one who actually remembered most of the rules. He was on a in the game.
So, and also, I mean, I was trying to convince Ben to do it because on the Cool Mini or Not video they did, Eric Lang was playing the Sins, and he's the game designer, and that's awesome. And Ben kind of looks a bit like Eric Lang, so I thought
I get that a lot.
I thought that'd be appropriate. Also, Ben's also a game designer, so that would kind of work.
Yeah.
But then he wanted to be a good guy.
Yeah, I want to be Brad.
He wanted to be Brad, so he's Brad.
It's not Brad.
So we've set it up. So yeah, Cool Mini or Not did a run through. It's Eric Lang being the Sin with a bunch of their staff playing the game. They actually do a run through of most of their games. So we've changed things up. We've done things a bit differently. We're using a different Sin. In fact, the way the game sort of works is you pick like a storyline or a mission, and the missions are divided into 3 different types. You've got redemption, horror, and terror.
Yeah.
And in a redemption mission, the heroes are sort of trying to save innocents in the city. In a terror mission, people are just like the heroes are just dying really quickly, and they just kind of have to get to the end of it before they're just killed. And in a terror mission, there's sort of like a betrayer mechanic or sort of something untoward going on. People have dark pasts that are kind of revealed. And so they all get to pick a team. Now there's 7 heroes in the core set. So in any game, you'll use all 7. If you have one, you need at least 2, a Sin player and a hero. If you have 1 hero player, they'll have access to all 7 heroes, but they'll control 4 at a time. If you've got 2 players, they'll each have 2. With 3, they all have 1. And with 4 players, they all have 1 each as well. But the remaining set, the remainder of the 7 will go into a pool of heroes. This one here, actually, and they'll be accessible when these heroes die because they will die. And so once you've picked up the heroes and everyone's picked a hero, then we go and pick the mission. And the mission is here. And each mission has 2 different board layouts you can choose from. And so you pick a board layout. I don't know. I guess it's just to give it replayability, really. There doesn't seem to be any kind of... It's not like hard and easy mode or anything like that.
There's a bit of a story that goes through, and there's like a progression, it seems.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, that's right. You were mentioning that one of the missions is a final mission.
Mm-hmm.
But the expansions don't come with any extra missions, did they, Matthew?
Some do. The Apocalypse one actually does come with like an end of complete world. So war, death, famine.
Oh, so you get the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Yeah, and then you also get the Apocalypse comes along, which is this dirty, massive, and bigger, dangerous demon thing.
Do you have that one?
I do.
Well, we'll
And
have
I've
to
done
play-
the unboxing of it as well, but I couldn't bring it because it's raining here and I didn't have a big enough bag.
That's fair enough. Maybe we don't want to start with the Apocalypse. After all, just like all of my videos, in fact, we've maybe like played a handful of rounds and we're just diving straight into this kind of unprepared. So that's the way we like to do things here on Registered to Play.
I do think the team boxes. Sorry to say it. I do think the team boxes have a mission in each of them as well. I'd use the word think. I know the Sins doesn't, but the Omega, Gamma, Delta, Beta. I think there's 4, and each one of them has a mission in them. Also come with some other acolytes and stuff like that as well.
And a bunch of characters.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you get those team boxes that they're talking about. They come with a bunch more characters.
But are
Once
they
you
all exclusive?
Not all of them.
Okay.
and once you've got those characters, you can pick. You can just add them all into a big pool and pick the 7 you like the most. But they all have different like classes that kind of represent what they're good at. Like you've got these leaders; they're good at leading, I guess. They kind of give actions to other players and stuff like that. You've got the shooter; they're good at ranged attacks. You've got the bruiser, who's good in melee combat. And you've got the fixer, who's kind of good at cleaning up messes. And to start with, Matthew's going to be a fixer. Michael's going to be a bruiser. He's a real bruiser. He's called Morgana, the bruiser. And Ben here is going to be a shooter. Brad, the shooter.
Brad.
I believe that you have to have it as a fixed set as well, so it's like
So
one leader.
yeah, so there's always one leader and 2 of each class.
Yeah.
But you can take, you might drop the 2 fixers from the core set, pick 2 fixers up out of an expansion, or 1 from each, however you want. You can kind of mix and match the players once you've got more of the expansions. And so then once you've got your team made up, then you can go on this mission. and you choose your board, and there is a story arc that you can play through, I guess. But we've just picked a mission. We decided to go for something a bit different because of the Cool Mini or Not playthrough, where they play through the Flames of the Hell Club or something like that, which is a terror mission. We decided to play through Battleground of Souls, which is a redemption mission. I have no idea where it fits in the story, but it's cool. Basically, there's going to be a bunch of innocent people on the board that these guys are going to have to run around and save. They've got like a faith base, which is where they operate out of because they are Team Faith, and faith base, and they're going to go out into the world looking for these hidden innocent people tokens. So I've got all these mysterious tokens here, and these mysterious tokens here, they can be all kinds of different things. This one's fire. This one is more fire. I don't know. I was messing around with these earlier. That's a nest, so that's a spawn point where monsters can spawn. And somewhere in here are innocent people. That's a corruption token there. Somewhere in here, there it is. There's a lady with a baby. And she is an innocent bystander. And what's going to happen is these are going to go down with the question marks face up. And they're basically, our team here are going to have to hunt through these tokens, looking for the innocent people to pick up and take back to their faith base, where they will then be rescued. And once they've rescued enough of them, so the first step of the mission is reveal 2 innocent tokens. So all they have to do to win that is find 2 innocent people and bring them back to the faith base. And then they'll move on to part 2. And after that mission's complete, I get to summon the Avatar. That's this guy here. And he's like the Avatar of Envy. So that leads us to the final step after you've chosen the mission, which is choose the sin. Right? You've got 7 sins, 2 in the base box, pride and sloth.
Yes. Brain had to kick in for a second there, sorry.
So you've got pride and sloth in the base box. They played with pride on Cool Mini or Not, and so we decided we weren't actually going to show you guys either of the sins from the core set, because if you just buy the core set to play with, maybe you want to discover those for yourself. So we're using the Envy expansion set, which you can go and see the unboxing of on Matthew's channel.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And we've got so what Envy what the sin kind of does is it gives you slightly different. You've got these guys acolytes. They're basically the same for every sin, in that they all kind of behave the same as a monster, but all the sculpts are different. And as you would expect with Cool Mini or Not, they're kind of terrifying and badass. And just oh god, look at that guy. So
I do not want a hug from him.
I would like to point out
That would be
End up inside him.
Yeah, exactly.
one of the things I like about Envy's sculpts as well, especially for their abominations, is they're actually quite a lot more different. Because if you look at sorry, you got one in your head already.
Yeah.
If you look at them, they're like very differently from the other. Each one looks different anyway, but they've got different like that one's got massive like hooks coming out of its sort of body. The other one's over there.
hello.
So I really like that because the other sets seem to they're very similar but different poses.
Yeah, but these are actual different.
Yeah.
sets,
The sculpts are a lot more varied than previously. And actually, what I would show you guys as well is these are so we've got the board set up already, as you can see, and this is the board set up on the back here. So you've got A and B side, and these will just show you sort of different setups you can have and how to set those up. And oops.
I just want to point one thing out. We didn't set the board up completely the same way as one of the other sides, because we wanted to fit it on the table.
Oh yeah,
Right,
we just
that's
rotated
right.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So we've set it up to fit better on the table.
Yeah.
And so all the monsters and stuff have stat lines, and the stat lines are kind of the same across all of the sins. So for example, the acolytes here, which are the sort of sin-specific monsters, they all are 3/3 on their stat line. All of the prime sins are 7/7, which makes sense because 7 sins, right? That's thematic and cool. And then you've got these acolytes, and the acolytes there's 3 acolytes in the box.
Yes.
And you get more different kinds of acolytes. We're playing with Corrupted Hobo. I'm sorry, Michael. What are we playing with?
Corrupted Herber.
Yes, Corrupted Herbers. The other options are Corrupted Doctor and Corrupted
Priests, nuns.
Corrupted Nuns.
Nuns.
Yeah, so you can
Yes.
pick your acolytes, and they all have the acolytes are all 2/2 stat line, and they all have a slightly different ability. So, for example, the hobo's ability is that once per round, a hobo will randomly show up in a fight and turn off one of your upgrade cards. And upgrade cards are pretty essential to the heroes doing well. And I actually envy as a monster, so all of the sins have their own special ability as well. Envy's is beware heroes that take of the bounty, because envy and shit, right? It's jealousy. So whenever a hero gains an upgrade card, they may take 1 wound. Otherwise, all heroes take 1 corruption. Both of those things are pretty bad. So now they're going to have to pay dearly to take upgrades, which I could just turn off, which is brutal. So we'll have to find out whether that turns out to be how bad that turns out to be.
Maybe I brought the wrong sin.
We've also got we've also got this deck of envy abilities here, and I'll have a hand of 5 of those. I draw up to 3 each turn from these altars on the board, but the good guys can go to those locations and shut them off, and then I'll get less cards in hand. But before I get ahead of myself, after they complete the first mission, I'll summon that avatar, put him on the board somewhere. He'll just sit there and be scary and terrifying, and then they'll choose a second mission. They've got an option of 2, and then finally they'll move on to the third mission, and when they complete that, they win the game.
What are those missions, Mike?
So mission number 1, reveal 2 innocent tokens. Mission number 2A is keep them safe. Remove fire or corruption tokens in monster-free spaces equal to the number of players.
Okay, so that's not bad.
So remove 3 fire or 3 corruption tokens in monster-free spaces. The second part is rescue the chief. Attach the commissioner token to the avatar. The commission attaches to any hero that defeats the avatar. Defeat the avatar and bring the commissioner token to the starting space. So, there we go.
So there's sort of a tree here, so you don't have to do both. I'm guessing you can do one or
Yeah,
the other.
do one or the other.
Yeah.
And then finally, save their souls. Rescue 3 innocent tokens. And that means go out, find an innocent, and bring him back to the faith base. Now, for the middle ones, you choose which one you do, and then it activates. You don't... I don't set up both, and then you can kind of try and do both and see what you do first. Mm-hmm. You choose one and then do it.
Okay.
I think.
I have a question. Is that the avatar, the big scary thing that you don't want to hug from?
Yes.
What are these? So they aren't the avatar. These things.
So these are Hell Club creatures. These are guys that might come out and help me out. The Hell Club is God knows why, but in this city on the edge of nowhere in Doomland, there seems to be a club devoted to hell and summoning creatures from hell, and so they live in the city and help the demons.
Meetup for everything.
I don't know why. What?
There's a meetup for everything these days.
And I don't know why the faith team haven't just been like, you guys suck, get out. But there you go. So you've got the big brute guy, the scary little twin guys, and Hellraiser before he had his face done.
Pre-op.
I might need these guys to come and help me out. Come and help me out once I summon my avatar, because he takes at least 4 hours to floss. He needs to floss before he goes out.
Go get those teeth ready.
So they so once they've completed the third mission, they've won the game, and I've got to basically prevent that from happening. And the way I can prevent that from happening is by killing them all, or
Boo.
well, is that it? Do I just kill you all?
I think
There's another...
most things that happen cause us to die anyway.
But there was another loose condition, wasn't there?
Mission.
Is the mission progress? Does that need to? Is that
If we haven't done it by the 7th go?
Oh, rulebook moment.
Rulebook moment on Ready Steady Play, not uncommon.
Okay,
So
missions. Just keep talking and I'll let you know.
Yeah, so we've also got this apocalypse tracker here, and this is going to track the apocalypse. This goes up 1 at the end of...
every round? Is it?
No.
Doesn't it go up
Yes.
at the end of every round? And if
If no innocents are revealed. So at the end of each round where no innocent tokens were revealed, this will go up by 1. And also, if I kill any monster, it'll go up. Any hero, it'll go up again. So yeah, and that's one of the loose conditions. If whenever one of their heroes dies, they just reach into the pool. So they've got 3 now. There's 4 more in the pool because they get 7. And if they reach into the pool to replace their hero and there's none left, they lose instantly. So even though there'll actually be 2 left alive on the board, they'll still lose.
I found out what it is for mission progress.
What is
it's
that?
It's actually for us. It's these slots are used to keep track of the hero's progress on the current mission.
Okay, that makes sense.
I see. Okay, well, I will move those up for you. So for example, right now you have no innocent tokens, but when you get 1, I'll put it there, and 2 to put it there. Yes, very good. With the these are the corruption tokens. Obviously tentacles. What else would it be?
They're really cool. I really like those.
No, I mean, basically, this whole game is about fisting and tentacles. And
More on that later.
More on that later. And yep. So you've got this apocalypse track, and that's going to escalate as the game goes on, and give me more and more and more powers. So things are going to get tougher and tougher for them as things progress. So they want to be trying to be as efficient as possible to getting their jobs done. I'm going to be throwing down tokens every turn. Like I said, it's these tokens. The ones that I showed you, the fire and the corruption a moment ago. When they move in and out of fire squares, they might take damage. When they move in and out of squares with corruption, they might become corrupted. And the way corruption works is it's a tracker on their player board. When it reaches 7, all of those tentacles that were lovingly caressing them in combat now become fists. And they get fisted and nothing but fisted all day long. So and so they'll die really, really quickly.
Too much fisting.
Yeah, they'll be fisted. So they'll be
just get all the fists out.
Yeah, and is that the commissioner?
Yes.
Yeah, he's not in this.
Yeah, so he shows up with the avatar.
Oh, okay.
If you do that mission, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Kill the avatar.
Actually, Matthew, why don't you check that for me really quickly? Because I might have gotten that wrong. Whether you choose or whether you do... Or, yeah, how that works. And while that's working, I'm going to show you guys movement. Because basically the board is actually kind of reminiscent of Zombicide.
Yeah.
So you move around the board. It's very, very simple. You've got these buildings here. This is a hospital. This is some kind of military base.
Yeah.
This is...
I think it's an armory.
Yeah. I mean, sure.
It doesn't really matter. It's more about the sort of tokens on them.
No! Allow me the fluff! Damn it! That could actually be a police station.
It could be.
See, I wanted to call this a train station. I don't know why.
Well, I thought it was a train station.
It's got a train station token.
What's it say on
But
the
then
wall?
it says books. A book fair.
Occultism book fair.
And it's got
So it could be the
toilets
library.
here.
Can I give you this?
Oh,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
must decide which one we're going to go for.
You do
We
have to choose.
decide which one.
Right, so if I summon the avatar no matter what, but if you don't choose rescue the chief, then you can't have the commissioner token.
Yeah.
But what it does mean that is if you choose that one, you can't have it until you kill the avatar.
And he's tough.
He is tough.
He's really, really tough.
So his stats are obviously 7/7, like I mentioned,
Why
because
would we not do the other one? It seems easier. We'll see what happens.
because then you'll never have the commissioner.
That's true.
And also, I put him wherever I want anyway. Or no, I put him in a spawn location. Anyway,
We're going to explain
Probably next to
movement.
him.
we're going to explain movement.
Mm-hmm.
So the way it works is the board is very simply organized into spaces. Each building is one space, and each section of road between zebra crossings is another space. You know, I mean, this does not look like a British city, does it? I mean, it's far too.
It looks
well
very American.
It looks very. It
It's the
doesn't.
future.
That's true. This is set in the
Excuse me.
future. We've got cybernetic stuff going on. You can get cool stuff and ice sword.
Yeah, that was...
Super futuristic
that was a
ice
cool upgrade.
sword. Yeah, but if you take it, I'll corrupt you or wound you,
Oh, yeah.
and then my hobos will turn it off.
Oh.
So
The
no
hobo-
ice swords for you.
The hobos are horrible.
So this is
We need to kill
one
them.
space here,
yeah.
and if Leia's going to move out of it, she can actually just move into buildings like this, and that's one movement there. She can also cross into this building here. That's one movement, or she can cross up into this space here. That's one, and from here, this is actually all one space because of the zebra crossings are there. So she could move into there, and that would be 2. 1, 2. Now, the deal here is that it kind of bothers me that these don't have any doors or windows. You know, that you have to move through. But I guess it's part of the
Yeah.
game balance. You know, otherwise the movement would be too kind of annoying and difficult.
Mm.
But and the boards are actually very small as well. So you know, it's
Well, this one's small.
this
there
one's
are,
small.
There are bigger ones.
There are bigger boards, but I think even like the biggest board, like even though the board looks quite large, it's actually quite small.
Mm.
What's that, Matthew?
We've missed the Dark Pact.
What's the Dark Pact?
Ooh.
I mean, I like the sound of that. As the Sin player, I really want to be involved in the Dark Pact.
It's actually meant to be for you as well. The Dark Pact can only be used in. Oh, no, this isn't the cooperation. Sorry, wrong story.
Yay! No dark pact for you.
I want Dark Pact, damn it! No, that's what you're talking about is the Dark Past.
Yeah.
The dark past. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. So in the corruption stories, the heroes can actually become. I will steal one as the Sin player. I would get one and bring it under my control, and they would have to try and fight him. And he comes with his stat line and everything, and he's pretty tough.
I think with the first 3 heroes we choose, you can't do that though.
They choose one, and then I choose from the remainder.
Yeah.
But they will also choose all 7 of their team members. So if you've got an expansion and stuff, you can think about that. But don't put in 3 crap ones and a good one, because I'll just take the good one. And anyway, back to so that's how you move. Now there are these tokens here. These are the ones you saw me showing you earlier, fire and corruption here. And when you move into a space with fire on it,
or
out of a space with fire on it, I'll roll a dice to see if you take damage. There's a chance that I'll get a fury result, and that's kind of like you catching on fire, and then I'll roll more dice to see if you take more damage, and you might just catch on fire and burn to death.
Yeah.
And with
you're running through fire. I mean, that makes sense.
And absolutely,
Totally
Run that
possible.
risk.
totally fine. Yeah. Look, if you don't want to catch on fire and burn to death, don't run through fire.
Or bring some water.
So there's also spawn symbols down there, but that's where I spawn monsters later. It's fine. Don't worry about that. Nobody worry about that.
Yeah, so some like tokens are just painted onto the board, and they're not like changeable, but other ones can be placed that serve as the same purpose.
Yeah.
And the ones that you place can also be cleansed by the heroes, which means they go in and they cast some kind of bullshit magic, and then they take it away.
Yay.
Make my life more difficult. But that's actually quite difficult for them to do, which is quite satisfying. There's also a satellite that can blow up my people.
We have 2 satellites here.
Oh god damn.
We have one there.
Yes.
And we have one in there.
Right, so you'll notice that there's 2 boards. The only way for them to travel through between the boards is via this metro system here. So this is the train station, and it connects to this board here and this board here. So you can travel from there to there, or actually you'd come out here, wouldn't you?
Yeah, to that specific space.
Or into this building here, where my controller is, and she's got a snake arm. And so they've all got... So I talked about taking damage. They take damage. They've all got 5 wounds. And when they take 5 wound tokens, then they die. They just die. And when they die, they're removed from the board, and they don't get to play anymore.
Should I explain how they...
I'm just kidding. They replace it with another hero.
Should I explain how they actually take the wounds?
Absolutely. Please do.
So the way wounds work is when you take a wound, you place it on this track here, which I'll explain in a minute. Once you've taken 5 wounds, you just die.
So if you take a wound, once you've taken all your wound tokens off the board,
you die immediately.
that's it. You're done.
But there are ways to negate it. Also, there's the corruption track. Have we explained corruption?
We have not explained corruption.
So corruption is this interesting mechanic where you can take on corruption and get sort of corrupted by the evilness in the world.
Everyone starts with 1 corruption because you can't exist in this world without being a little bit corrupted.
Yeah, everyone's a bit messed up.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, Brad is the most normal. Morgana's like a vampire. Carl's a werewolf.
Carl.
Hey, Coral.
So when you take these, so if you look along the bottom here, you have these bonuses. You don't get these bonuses unless you willingly take an amount of corruption up to the point. So if I wanted to use an extra dice in combat here, I could take a point of corruption. So then the next time I roll dice, I'll get +1. But if I wanted to take even more stuff, I could go all the way up here and take, an extra dice, an extra shield, and another dice. But I run the risk of being too corrupted. In this case, the downside to being like full corruption is we'll start killing innocents, which is what we don't want to do.
Because they're trying to rescue those, not kill them.
And it also means when we take further corruption, we're not going to take corruption, we're just going to take damage, which means we'll be dying a lot faster. So there's a sort of management to health and corruption. When you take these wounds, they will cover up these bonuses. So usually the first wound goes down here because it's got no effect. But if I put my second wound here, for example, it meant if I went past here on corruption, I wouldn't be able to get that bonus unless it was healed. So I think that's how corruption works.
It's a one-off sort of moment. You have to corrupt yourself a little bit more to use the bonuses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So each time you take corruption, you unlock all of the bonuses beneath it for your next die roll. And then once that die roll is concluded, you don't get them again until you take more corruption. So you lose out on the bonuses covered by wounds. So when you take wounds, you have to cover up the bonuses, and then you get less of an advantage by taking corruption. In this particular game, because of the presence of innocence, corruption is even more important and critical to think about.
Yeah.
because if you guys kill the innocents, then you can't save them. And that sucks for you.
Yeah.
Good for me though. I enjoy that. So the combat. How does combat work? Combat is actually super simple in this game. There's two kinds of dice. You've got faith dice and corruption dice. I roll corruption dice. They roll faith dice, and my dice are better.
No, you have blanks.
Yeah, that's true. I do have blanks. I don't have shields either, because who needs shields when you could have more fists? And my dice actually only have 3 kinds of symbols on them. They've got a blank face. Well, actually, that's not true. There's 4, but one of them is kind of the same. I'll explain. I've got a blank. I've got a fist. I've got a tentacle for caressing. And I've got a fury fist, which is a fist with fire around it. And when I roll the dice, the blanks do nothing. The corruptions add corruption. The fists deal damage. And the fury fists deal a damage and allow me to roll another dice. And if I just so happen to roll another fury fist, I can roll another dice. So that's pretty cool. And I'll just keep going until I run out of fists for fisting. The okay, I gotta stop that joke. Just phrasing.
Should have brought lust.
Unless we fist you.
Should have brought. It doesn't matter. They all use the same dice, man. So I didn't design these dice. Anyway, and they are called fists, right? In the rule book, yeah. It's the technical term.
They're called hits.
Are they called hits?
Yeah.
Shit. Well, they don't look like hits.
It does say hit, sorry.
God damn it. Well, you should have written hit on it.
It definitely is a fist.
It definitely is a fist. It looks like a fist. So why don't you explain how the defense dice
I'm
work?
just getting out every kind of side. There's 2. Oh yeah.
So I mentioned earlier that each monster has a stat line. It's got an attack number and a defense number, which are slightly different. The heroes also have an attack and a defense, but theirs work slightly differently because they have wound trackers, and I don't. I have no way of keeping track of wounds. What happens is that when I'm dealt damage, if it equals or exceeds my defense, I just straight up die. If it doesn't, then all of that is cancelled, and they have to start over with another attack. I also have an attack value. That's just the number of dice I get. If I have multiple monsters, they just add up their attacks.
Cool. So yeah, the 5 sides of the dice for good guys. It's similar to the sin dice. We got hits, which do damage to the bad guys. We got shields that cancel damage. We've got these interesting tokens here. I'll explain what they do in a second. These stop corruption, so that's like anti-tentacle, no tentacle. So we don't get any corruption.
No caressing.
And this shiny thing here...
Consent! They call it consent symbol.
This is a denial dice, yeah. Rejection. So, and this shiny thing here, this is the glorious faith dice, which is what we really want to roll. Because that lets us do any side of the dice we just set it to. And like his flaming fists, we can re-roll and add another dice roll to the pool. So it's a very common Eric Lang exploding dice mechanic. It's in all his games. So yeah, so the thing I didn't explain was this eye token here. What that does is when we're doing checks to try and cleanse these annoying tokens on the board, what we want to get is these, so that we can remove them for each one we roll. And the number of those we roll is determined by our character. So that's our attack dice, and that's our what's the action called? Cleansing dice?
Called cleansing.
Focus.
The symbols are called focus symbols, and the action's called cleansing.
Oh, okay.
That's why it's an eye. I get it.
Cool.
I didn't until you pointed that out, actually. I feel stupid now.
All in the same club.
So do we have any other things we need to explain?
Weapons.
Upgrades.
We get
Oh, we
5
need to-
upgrades.
Well, we should explain how the actions work. So the way actions kind of work, I don't actually have turns in this game. I just react to what they do. So for example, when they deny my advances, then I can react and say, No, I will advance again.
No.
But they get to have 2 actions, or they get to have 2 turns. Each turn is a move and an action, or an action then a move. And they also get a city token.
Yes. That gives us an additional free action on certain spaces. So for example, if you look at every space, I think, yeah, every space has it. There's one of these shiny symbols here. So you place one of these city tokens down, and that gives you all the benefits of that space. So just to give you an example here, if we put the city token down here, this would let us heal 1 wound and get us an upgrade card. Whereas over here, this symbol lets us move the satellites around and basically blow up monsters, which is great. So
Up to 2 squares.
Up to 2 squares,
Yeah.
So, upgrade cards.
Yep. There's also some characters on the board here. There's a Raven and a Proxy.
Oh yeah.
What does the Proxy do?
He helps you out against corruption and fire tokens.
Yes.
When you move through them.
And the Raven gives you an extra movement space.
Yeah.
And when you can pick those up as a free action, you can actually leave them where you are as a free action if you want to let someone else have them. And you can have as many as possible. There's also a Commissioner token who gives you a bonus in combat, and that's not on the board yet. That might show up if they do the mission to save him.
Yeah.
There's upgrade cards. Those can be picked up at the locations.
So we start with 5 upgrade cards.
It's worth noting, that also
5.
corruption and health can be cleared on the board as part of the stage.
Yeah, sorry, 5 because these are sort of it's like a shop available for us to take from.
So we have a flamethrower.
Yeah, and the cyberware. What's that? And
So these do
Adrenoware?
various bonuses. They sort of, for example, add 2 dice while fighting 2 or more monsters. This adds +1 to all skill rolls. So they'll provide us bonuses in some way. The way we get those, as I mentioned, is you have to do the. Is it a city action? That's what it's called.
yeah, it's a city action.
City action on the space, and then that'll give us 1.
And if one of us picks these up, do we replace these, or are these just our 5 for the entire game?
Oh,
We asked that last time, and we never checked.
we never checked. All I know is when your character dies, they go back here.
Right.
So maybe
Yeah.
there's only 5.
Maybe there's only 5. Okay.
We'll have to find out.
But it's a big, thick deck.
Yeah, so lots of variation for multiple playthroughs.
Is that how that works? So, basically, the aim of the game... And, I've got these cards here. These are going to show up when... These are Apocalypse cards, and as the Apocalypse track progresses, these will just show up, and they'll have cool things on it, like these guys. Or other stuff going on. And you just don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be bad for them.
Do you know what's going to happen?
I have no idea. I have literally no idea.
Anything could happen.
In fact, the only cards I've looked at aren't even in this deck, so I don't know what's going to happen. And with that in mind, wouldn't it be cool to find out what happens?
I think that's a good starting point.
Do you guys want to find out what happens?
Yeah, go on. We just.
Great. So we're all
I
gonna
don't want a hug from the guy.
accept my love, damn it!
No.
Damn it! If you don't accept my love, I'll be forced to react.
How we just write them a strong-worded letter?
I've told.
Please return to hell.
Dear Envy, I've told you many times that I'm not interested. Now I'm being forced to take legal action.
Here comes Faith.
It's
Consulted with my lawyer.
So if you guys want to find out what's going to happen to these guys, I fully recommend you come back tomorrow when we're going to start playing this game. They're going to decide who's going to go first. Then they'll go around clockwise till everyone runs out of actions.
Yeah.
I'll react, or I won't react. I might just sit here and pout. Who knows? First, I'm going to put down some mystery tokens, though. One of them is going to have an innocent person on them.
Yeah.
Do
We need to find them.
Yep.
you have to put down an innocent person every round?
Yep. I have to put down, every round I'll put down 1 innocent person, 1 fire, and 1 corruption.
Cool.
But we won't know what they are.
You won't know what they are because they'll be face down, so you got to search the board for them.
Okay.
Although probably the innocent person will be the one in the most annoying position.
He wants us to believe that.
So with that in mind, if you enjoyed this video, please throw a like, leave us a comment, let us know what you thought. If you thought we were not funny, then don't just keep that to yourself. Quietly dislike the video. But if you thought we were funny or you want to see what happens, let us know and come back tomorrow. And if you want to see it, be sure to subscribe.
Yay.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.